Okay, well, the purpose of the Convention of States movement is to call for an Article 5 convention to propose amendments to limit the power of Washington. According to the Constitution, there's two ways to amend the Constitution: the way through Congress that we've always had, where Congress proposes the amendments and then it goes through ratification. There's a second and completely valid way that has never been used before, and that's through the states. And according to the Constitution, 34 states have to apply to call the convention, and that's what we're working on today, is having Indiana be one of those states to apply. So far, 5 states have passed our resolution, and it's in motion in dozens of states across the country. So we really have this groundswell of grassroots movement wanting to make this happen. Most Americans know that Washington is out of control and it will not control itself. So the solution has to come from the outside. So what type of amendments could we propose that would limit Washington? The two most popular amendments with the American people are a balanced budget amendment, because they should be forced to balance their budget just like everyone else does. Secondly, term limits is popular for members of Congress, and especially for members of the judiciary, because the Supreme Court judges were never intended to have this generational influence. At the time of our founding, we had shorter lifespans, so they had a naturally short term. Another idea that people would like is to repeal the 17th Amendment, to give states the authority to select senators instead of it being for the popular vote. That brings power back to the states. Another idea is giving states the power to override Supreme Court decisions, because as we know, the Supreme Court gets it wrong a lot, and I think both sides would agree on that. So the people want to have a say. Just like we have the right to vote, we have the right to propose amendments at the state level through Article 5 of the Constitution, and it's time that we use that right.
So on the U.S. senators that you mentioned, so the state legislatures would select U.S.
Right,
senators.
that is how our country was founded, and that gave, so the people elected their representatives to go to Congress to go to the House of Representatives to represent the people, and the states selected their senators, and the senators were there to protect to protect the states, and they answered to the state legislatures. Then in 1913, the 17th Amendment was ratified, and that put the states completely out of control. Conservatives are leading this movement, but it is popular with people who are not conservative. We are all better off with having our power close to home. If you ask someone in, say, California, who lives in a very liberal city, would you rather have your education decisions for your children made by someone in Washington or by someone close to home? Almost everyone is going to answer close to home. So this is something that returns the power to the people. We're better off being served that way.